Good morning, students. Today we shall read the chapter The Bond of Love, written by Kenneth Anderson. This is the chapter 9 from the book Beehive. So, The Bond of Love lesson covers the story written by Kenneth Anderson in an easy way. It revolves around the story of the bond of love between a human and an animal. We learn that there is a bear whose name is Bruno, and the author's wife who adopts him. Bruno was a sloth bear, okay, whom the author saved and gifted him to his wife. Further, as time passed, the wife grew very fond of Bruno and treated him like her own child. Thus, in this bond of love lesson, students will learn the accounts of Bruno's life and how he became a family member of the author's house. However, due to unavoidable circumstances, she has to leave Bruno for the betterment of her family. So, upon separating, she realizes that she shares a true bond of love with Bruno and reunites with him. Okay, so let's start it. Let's start the lesson, the bond of love. So, in this lesson, the bond of love, we will learn that a true bond of love doesn't limit anything. It can be present among us the most unexpected places, and nothing can hamper it. Now, let's begin the lesson, the bond of love. I will begin with Bruno, my wife's pet sloth, Bear. I got him for her by accident. 2 years ago, we were passing through the sugarcane fields near Mysore. People were driving away the wild pigs from the fields by shooting at them. Some were shot and some escaped. We thought that everything was over when suddenly a black sloth bear came out panting in the hot sun. Okay, see the meaning of a few words on this page, page number 113. Bond means something that unites. Understand? And then next paragraph. See, one more meaning is there. Panting means taking short, quick breaths, gasping like that. Now the meaning of this paragraph. The narrator's wife got a pet sloth bear as a pet due to an accident. Okay, 2 years before the time when this story was written, the narrator and his friends were passing through a sugarcane field near Mysore. Okay, farmers were driving out pigs from their fields by shooting at them. As it was apparently over, suddenly a sloth bear appeared from the field. It was breathing heavily due to running and the excessive heat. Okay, now next paragraph number 2. Now I will not shoot a sloth bear wantonly, but unfortunately for the poor beast, one of my companions did not feel that way about it and promptly shot the bear on the spot. Okay, now see the meaning of word wantonly means for no good reason. Now the meaning of this passage. So here the writer says that narrator means who narrates the story. He says that he would never shoot at a bear without any reason, but one of his companions did not think so. So he did it, okay, and the bear was shot at. Now the third point. As we watched the fallen animal, we were surprised to see that the black fur on its back moved and left the prostrate body. Then we saw it was a baby bear that had been riding on its mother's back. when the sudden shot had killed her. The little creature ran around its prostrate parent, making a pitiful noise. Okay, now see the word prostrate means lying on the ground facing downwards. Now, the meaning of this paragraph: the animal lay on the ground, but a part of its fur, okay, furry black body moved. And it was a baby bear that had been lying on the mother bear's back. Okay, means mother was riding her baby on her back. Now that the mother bear was dead, she was not anymore. The baby got up and ran around the mother's body. How he was moving around, how he was moving, crying. Okay, when it saw his mother dead. Now, the next paragraph: I ran up to it to attempt a capture. It scooted into the sugarcane field. Following it with my companions, I was at last able to grab it by the scruff of its neck while it snapped and tried to scratch me with its long hooked claws. Now, see the meaning of difficult words. Scooted means ran away. Okay. Scruff of the neck means take hold of the back of the neck or collar suddenly or roughly. And what is the meaning of sloth bear? Sloth bear means a bear who walks slowly. Understand? Now, the meaning of this paragraph. Now, the narrator tried to catch the baby bear when he saw its mother died. The baby bear escaped into the sugarcane field. The group chased it. Okay, means which group? Narrator's friends chased the baby bear, and finally the narrator caught hold of it from the back of its neck. Understand? The bear tried to scratch them, all of them, with its hook shaped claws. Now, the next paragraph. We put it in one of the gunny bags we had brought, and when I got back to Bangalore, I duly presented it to my wife. She was delighted. She at once put a colored ribbon around its neck, and after discovering the cub was a boy, she christened it Bruno. Understand what is the meaning of christen? Means she named it. Now, this meaning: the group stuffed the bear in a gunny bag when when they held it, and took the baby bear to Bangalore. Okay, now Bangalore. The narrator gifted the bear cub to his wife, and she was so happy to have it. Okay, she tied a colored ribbon around its neck, and as it was a male cub, she named it Bruno. Okay, now the sixth point: Bruno soon took to drinking milk from a bottle. It was but a step further, and within a very few days, he started eating and drinking everything else. And everything is the right word, for he ate porridge made from any ingredients, vegetables, fruit, nuts, meat, especially pork, curry, and rice, regardless of condiments and chilies, bread, eggs, chocolates, sweets, pudding, ice cream, etc., etc., etc. As for drink, milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, aerated water, buttermilk, beer, alcoholic liquor, and in fact anything liquid, it all went down with relish. Now, see the meaning of difficult words. Condiments means spices. Understand? Then relish means great enjoyment or enjoy greatly. Now, the meaning of this paragraph: the bear drank milk from a bottle. After a few days, it started drinking and eating many things like everything and anything. The bear enjoyed eating and drinking. Okay, you can see the list of eatables and whatever he drank. The bear became very attached to the family, uh, or to Alsatian dogs, and to all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. See the point? Next point, seventh point. The bear became very attached to our two Alsatian dogs and to all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. He was left quite free in his younger days and spent his time in playing, running into the kitchen, and going to sleep in our beds. Meaning, now the baby bear became friendly with the narrator's Alsatian dogs too. Okay, also with the tenants' children who lived in the narrator's bungalow. As the bear was left free, it played, ran around the house, and even slept in the narrator's bed. Now, 8 point. One day an accident befell him. I put down poison, barium carbonate, to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Bruno entered the library as he often did, and he ate some of the poison. Paralysis set it to the extent that he could not stand on his feet, but he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife, who called me. I guessed what had happened. Oh, off I rushed in the car to the vet's residence. A case of poisoning. Tame bear, barium, carbonate, what to do. Okay, so now the meaning. So, what happened? Accidentally, Bruno drank the poison kept in the library in order to kill rats. And what happened? Consequently, he was paralyzed and could not stand on its feet. Anyhow, he reached the narrator's wife. She called her husband, and he realized, means the narrator realized what had happened. Okay, then he took Bruno to a veterinary doctor. Understand? The next, now, out came his medical books, and feverish reference to index began. What poison did you say, sir? Barium carbonate. Ah, yes. Barium salts. Ah, barium carbonate. Symptoms paralysis. Treatment injections of just a minute, sir. I will bring my syringe and the medicine. A dash back to the car. Bruno still floundering about on his stumps, but clearly weakening rapidly. Some vomiting, heavy breathing, with heaving flanks and gaping mouth. Okay. Now the meaning of difficult words. See, floundering means struggling to move. Heaving means taking deep breaths or gasping, panting. Okay, flanks mean the side of the body between the ribs and hips. Then gaping means wide open mouth. Now the meaning of this passage. The doctor took out his medical books and searched the index for poisoning by barium carbonate. The doctor took out a syringe and the medicine. Bruno was struggling to move, vomiting, breathing heavily, and his mouth was wide open. Okay, now the next paragraph, number 10. Hold him, everybody. In goes the hypodermic. Bruno squeals. 10 cc of the antidote enters his system without a drop being wasted. 10 minutes later, condition unchanged. Another 10 cc injected. 10 minutes later, breathing less stertorous. Bruno can move his arms and legs a little, although he cannot stand yet. 30 minutes later, Bruno gets up and has a great feat. He looks at us disdainfully, as much as to say, "What's barium carbonate to a big black bear like me?" Bruno is still eating. Okay, now see the meaning of difficult words. Hypodermic means a long needle used to give an injection under the skin. Then squeals means screams, shout. Antidote means a medicine taken or given to counter uh, a particular poison. Now, stertorous means noisy. Then disdainfully means disapprovingly. Now, the meaning of this paragraph. The doctor asked everyone to hold Bruno as it screamed the medicine was injected. And as the condition did not change, another injection was given. 10 minutes later, Bruno breathing eased. It could stand after 30 minutes and ate some food. It gave them such a look. Who gave such a look? Bruno gave the people, means the narrator and his wife, such a look which showed that it had been fine all the time, and as if nothing had happened to it or to us, to such a big bear. Okay, or that he once wanted to say that what is barium carbonate to such a large bear? It is nothing. Now, the 11th point. Another time he found nearly 1 gallon of old engine oil, which I had drained from the sump of the Studebaker and was keeping as a weapon against the inroads of termites. He promptly drank the lot, but it had no ill effects whatever. See, the sump means the base of an internal. Next word is combustion engine, means which serves as a reservoir of oil, understand, for the lubrication system. Then stirred baker means an old American car. Okay, stewed baker means an old American car. Now meaning, so one more incident occurred, and it was that Bruno drank the used engine oil which the narrator had taken out of his Studebaker car and had kept to get rid of termites. Okay, the writer kept the engine oil which he used for his Studebaker for killing termites. Understand, termites are kind of ants, but it did not affect Bruno that time. Understand? Nothing happened to Bruno when it drank that engine oil. Now, the next paragraph, 12 number. The months rolled on, and Bruno had grown many times the size he was when he came. He had equaled the Alsatian in height and had even outgrown them, but was just as sweet, just as mischievous, just as playful. And he was very fond of us all. Above all, he loved my wife, and she loved him too. She had changed his name from Bruno to Baba, a Hindustani word signifying small boy, and he could do few tricks too. At the command Baba wrestle or Baba box, he vigorously tackled anyone who came forward for a rough and tumble. Give him a stick and say, Baba, hold gun. And he pointed the stick at you. Ask him, Baba, where's baby? And he immediately produced and cradled affectionately a stump of wood which he had carefully concealed in his straw bed. But because of the tenant's children, poor Bruno or Baba had to be kept chained most of the time. Now, meaning of the paragraph. So, as the days passed, Bruno grew bigger and bigger and outgrew the Alsatian dogs. Okay, still, it was sweet, naughty, and playful like before. He was fond of everyone in the family. The narrator's wife was very attached to Bruno and vice versa. Means both they were attached to each other. She changed his name from Bruno to Baba, which means a small boy in Hindustani language. Baba did some tricks when he was ordered to do, okay, like Baba wrestle or Baba box. He would wrestle the person and overpower him. When commanded Baba hold gun, he would point a stick. Okay, he held a stick at the person as if ready to shoot him. When asked Baba, where's baby? He would take out a piece of wood and cradle it affectionately like a baby. He had hidden the piece of wood under the straw bed. As he had grown big, he was chained. Okay, always he was chained or tied because he could be a threat to the tenant's children. Understand? Now, the number 13. Then my son and I advise my wife and friends advise her too to give Baba to the zoo at Mysore. He was getting too big to keep at home. After some weeks of such advice, she at last consented. Hastily, and before she could change her mind, a letter was written to the curator of the zoo. Did he want a tame bear for his collection? He replied, yes. The zoo sent a cage from Mysore in a lorry, a distance of 87 miles, and Baba was packed off. Okay, now see the meaning of the word curator. Okay, a person in charge of the zoo, and fretting means worried, unhappy, or we can say not relaxed. Now see the meaning of difficult words, meaning of the paragraph. See, now the narrator and his son advise, okay, narrator's wife to send Baba to the zoo because of his size. So when his wife was advised so by the friends too, she agreed and a letter was written to the zoo in charge to inquire if he would like to keep a bear at the zoo. He said yes, he affirmed, and then what happened? Baba was sent to Mysore Zoo, packed in a lorry or in a cage, okay, which was kept on a lorry. Cage was kept on a lorry. Baba was kept into that cage and sent to Mysore. He traveled a distance of 87 miles to reach the zoo in Mysore. Now the next, we all see the 14th paragraph, 14 one. We all missed him greatly, but in a sense we were relieved. My wife was inconsolable. She wept and fretted. For the first few days, she would not eat anything. Then she wrote a number of letters to the curator. How was Baba? Back came the replies. Well, but fretting. He refuses food too. Okay. Now, the meaning of this passage. So, all the members of the family missed Baba, but they were relaxed too. Now, what about narrator's wife? What about her? How she was feeling? So, the narrator's wife was disturbed. She wept and worried about Baba's well being. Okay. Initially, she also did not eat or drink. She wrote a letter to the zoo in charge to inquire about Baba. Then he also replied that Baba was also undergoing a similar situation like her. He was not ready to take food. He always refused food to take. Understand? Replies came from the curator. Now, the next. After that, friends visiting Mysore were begged to make a point of going to the zoo and seeing how Baba was getting along. They reported that he was well but looked very thin and sad. All the keepers at the zoo said he was fretting. For 3 months, I managed to restrain my wife from visiting Mysore. Then she said one day, I must see Baba. Either you take me by car or I will go myself by bus or train. So I took her by car. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of fretting? Fretting means worried, unhappy. Now see the meaning. See one more meaning here in the paragraph. Restrain means stop. Now, narrator's wife would ask her friends visiting Mysore to visit Baba and check out on him herself. Everyone gave a similar report that Baba was fine but appeared thin and sad. The staff at the zoo said that he seemed worried. Who seemed worried? Baba. Okay. The narrator restrained his wife from visiting the zoo for 3 months. He did not allow her to go to the zoo to see Baba. One day she said that she wanted to see Baba, and if he would not take her to the zoo, then she would go herself by train or bus. Okay, she would take either a train or a bus. Finally, they went to see Baba at the zoo. Means the narrator took her wife to the zoo to visit Baba. Now, the next point 16. Friends had conjectured that the bear would not recognize her. I had thought so too, but while she was yet some yards from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her. He howled with happiness. She ran up to him, patted him through the bars, and he stood on his head in delight. Now, see the meaning of conjectured means formed in opinion by guessing, by speculating. Okay. Now, the meaning of this passage. So, all friends had predicted that Baba would not recognize narrator's wife, and the narrator had thought so. Okay, he also thought so. Uh, but to his amazement and his friend's amazement, she was a few steps away from the cage when Baba saw her. When Baba looked at her, he recognized her. He identified her. He screamed with happiness, with joy. She ran up to him. She petted him. Okay. And Baba was very happy to meet her back. Understand? Now, the next point 17. For the next 3 hours, she would not leave that cage. She gave him tea, lemonade, cakes, ice cream, and whatnot. Then closing time came and we had to leave. My wife cried bitterly. Baba cried bitterly. Even the hardened curator and the keepers felt depressed. As for me, I had reconciled myself to what I knew was going to happen next. Now, see the meaning of difficult words. Depressed means felt sad. Reconciled means compromised. Okay, and then the meaning of this passage. So, narrator's wife remained there in the zoo for 3 hours. Okay, she fed Baba different things, a variety of things, which were his favorites. Okay, as the zoo had to close now, they had to leave. The narrator's wife did not want to leave Baba, and both of them cried for each other very bitterly. Even the zoo in charge was sad to see this situation. The narrator was fine because he knew that the next step would be to take Baba back along to Bengaluru back. Okay, so now next point. I think this is 18 point. Okay. Oh, please, sir, she asked the curator, may I have my Baba back? Hesitantly, he answered, Madam, he belongs to the zoo and is government property now. I cannot give away government property. But if my boss, the superintendent at Bangalore, agrees, certainly you may have him back. Okay. Now, the meaning of this paragraph. So, what happened here? The wife requested the in charge, the curator, that she wanted Baba back. Okay. What he replied? He replied that the bear was government property and that she needed permission from the superintendent in Bengaluru. Okay. Means he said that if his boss is ready to give him back, give Baba back, he will certainly would give Baba back to her. Okay. Now the next paragraph, point number 19. They followed the return journey to Bangalore and a visit to the superintendent's bungalow, a tearful pleading. Baba and I are both fretting for each other. Will you please give me him back to me? He was a kind hearted man and consented. Not only that, but he wrote to the curator telling him to lend us a cage for transporting the bear to Bangalore. Now, see the meaning of difficult words. Tearful pleading means begging, requesting with weeping. Understand? And then consented means agreed. Okay. And then transporting means carrying. Now the meaning of difficult words. Now, what happened finally? They returned to Bengaluru and visited the superintendent at his bungalow. She cried and requested, crying that both of them, means Baba and narrator's wife, had been worrying for each other. Okay. She requested next to have Baba back. The superintendent was a kind hearted person and he accepted her appeal or request. He wrote to the zoo in charge to arrange a cage for transporting Baba to Bengaluru. Understand? Now, the point 20. Back we went to Mysore again, armed with the superintendent's letter. Baba was driven into a small cage and hoisted on top of the car. The cage was tied securely, and a slow and careful return journey to Bangalore was accomplished. Now, see the meaning of difficult words. Hoisted means raised by means of ropes or pulleys. Next word is securely, okay, in a secured manner. And armed with means equipped with. Then accomplished means, see, accomplished means completed or achieved. Okay, meaning of this paragraph. Now all the